Hello everyone and welcome to NERDGOBLINart. I'm Lula. Right then, I have had one of the best kind of deliveries, and it's a delivery including a turtle and a frog. So it's from Intoresin and I'm very excited. And don't forget, Fridays are not only for frogs. So we're gonna be making a frog, and I'm very excited. You know I love frogs. And a beautiful turtle. So there's only one thing for it. Let's go play. How exciting is this? So I bought one of these and the other two were very kindly sent to me by Intoresin. So for that reason, we're going to open these ones first. Now, they've sent me two. I got to choose them, so I do know what they are. And if you would like a discount code, all you've got to do is use NERDGOBLIN. And don't worry, it is listed in the description box below. You always get your information on how to best handle your moulds and care for them and checking them out. And always remember to keep those bags because they are so very handy. Right, so the first mould. I'm very excited by this. Look at that sparkle. My goodness. You know how much I adore my little turtle mould that I had from Intoresin for the longest time, and I was so excited when I was offered that beautiful turtle mould. So it was a must. I had to have it. Now I chose this one as well, and it is an absolutely beautiful hummingbird and flowers, and I'm very excited to pour this one, but that isn't happening today. We're going to do this one another day because I want to make up the mould that I purchased myself. Now, as I said in the beginning, froggies are not just for Fridays. Oh, no. Obviously, this beautiful froggy is definitely, oh my goodness, I'm excited. It's definitely going to feature on a Froggy Friday, but I have to pour him. I need to see this beautiful frog. I'm excited. There's a few, I think there's like two versions of these frogs, one with a crown, one without. I opted for the one without. I can't get over the sparkle on that turtle, so I need to glove up, and that means magic. Doodle-doo. Right, I've also got some octopus fluid alcohol inks. I'm very excited to try these out, and this is the pear colour, and I finally got some unicorn. I finally got some crushed crystal, the magic special sparkly stuff. I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for it. It was quite expensive, and I'm using Arrtx resin. I have a discount code for 15% off, which is NERDGOBLIN15. But it is all listed in the description box below. I've also got a discount code for Resiners, and they're having a nice little spin around there, and I'm going to be turning it up to ludicrous speed. Yes! I don't know why. I just sounded a little bit Scottish, didn't I? Was that a little bit Scottish? I don't know. But still. So that's had a good 5 minutes now. It was a quick comeback, and I am going to be putting, as you can see, the ink is going straight in there because the mixer paddles can mix it up for me to save my poor wrists. Yes, and I'm also going to put the glitter in as well. So if you would like a discount code for Resiners, 15% off, once again, NERDGOBLIN, and there you are, all listed in the description box below. But I think these molds are going to look absolutely amazing. Simply done. I'm definitely going to be making these molds up again. Really, I really am. and I've got ideas. I've got a few ideas for them, but for the first ever pour, I was like, let's see them, how beautiful they are. I'm not massively concerned if I get a few bubbles on the first curing. I really am not. In fact, I don't even use the debubbler today. I just rely on the fact that mixing up like this is really good. I mean, that's not debubbled, and I think that's looking pretty good. And the sparkle in there, it is very, very, very pretty. The first mistake I am making here is I concentrated it too long in the one spot, and I have introduced some bubbles, but that's fine, that's good. With these moulds, Intoresin don't recommend using any kind of flame, so don't do that. I do use my heat gun, and they also advise not to use isopropyl alcohol. Why? Because it will eventually cause damage to the mould in the sense of dullness, and you basically cut the mould's life in half. So, you know, it is your choice. You know, I recommend you go with Intoresin's recommendations. It's just as simple as that. When I was pouring this one in particular, it is so shiny, it is so beautiful. I was struggling to see where the resin ended and the mould began. The feet on this mould are very shallow. So if you're pouring in just a ink coloured resin, it is a bit more difficult to see, so you really do need to get your nose down a little bit. When I say nose down, you know, closer and, you know, like eyeball, you know, from probably the same height because it was I was finding it quite hard to differentiate because it is such a shiny, beautiful mould. It really is. So as you can see there, I'm just making sure to get into those areas. And don't be afraid to use your silicone tool. A silicone tool is perfect for going around the mould just to encourage any bubbles. But because this is my first time ever pouring this mould, I don't know where or what the problem areas are gonna be. I always tend to go, you know, with the under by the feet, because there is a very small lip there, and possibly the neck-ish type area. But this is a different kind of mould to what I've been used to with a lot of the turtles and sea turtles I've been doing lately. So we'll see what it's like when it comes out. So next on to the froggy. I'm so super excited about this frog. You know I love frogs. There's a reason why I do Froggy Friday every single week without fail, because I love frogs. And I'm so excited. I know I've said it a few times. I'm wondering if a small eye would potentially fit in here, but I think it would be really difficult to get to it. So I'm leaving that alone. It's quite easy to colour the eyes afterwards if you want to do that type of thing. But sometimes they don't need it at all. You know, less is more. I say it all the time, less is more. So there we go. And again, using the silicone tool, there's not a huge lip there, not at all. I couldn't quite remember what this froggy looked like. I just know that I absolutely fell in love with him. But there's not a great many places for bubbles to hang on to or to hide. Probably under the chin area, I would say. So just bear that in mind if you do get this actual mould. And I believe when I ordered this mould, I don't know if it's still like it now, possibly it is, it was on sale. So there you go. So I've got some resin left over, so I've broken out my favourite little guy. He deserves to be seen all the time, and in fact I need to get another mould. I pour him so much. I've poured this mould. I think I basically pour this mould every make when I have a small amount left over, even if you don't see it see him at the end of the video, because I often think, oh, they must be getting bored of this this guy by now. So he deserves to be done. And the trick with this one is the bubbles like to hide into those little facets. So the best thing to do, like I'm doing here, is you get your silicone tool and make sure it is a silicone tool. You know, with the metal ones, with cocktail sticks, you risk scratching the mould, and you don't want to do that, especially with this beautiful mould. So the soft-ended silicone is the best option, and just bring them all up to the surface, and you can either continue to pop them or I'm using the heat gun, and I am using it on the lowest setting as far as I know. It's a new heat gun. I bought it just the other day because I realised my other one was just having basically zero power to it anymore. And once I'm happy, I'll just add a little bit more of that resin in, just to bring it up and try and give it a nice little dome. And I do try not to overfill it, but this one, they're great as key rings. You know, you can use a Dremel or anything Dremel-like into the foot. And make a keyring out of it. I've even had these go as like statement jewellery. People like wearing them, you know, a lot of the time they like wearing the bigger pieces. And also as a hanging thing, like in a bedroom with a few beads. I've done a few different things with these. Or I've been shown pictures, you know, when people have bought them from me, or I've sent them as an extra little gift, and they've done things with them, which is really cool. So these are nice and cured. I've done this all in one day. I've used my heat mat, and that was no harm done to it at all. And look at him, he's so beautiful. Considering how many pours I've put that turtle through, it is still sparkly. So this big turtle, I am so excited. I really am. Let's see. Ready? Look at that. Oh my days. I'm actually going to show you this outside. But I didn't actually realise that he had eyes. That's cool, isn't it? And thankfully, he actually did come out with his eyes. That's cool. Often with stuff like this, if I haven't realised, you end up, you know, with a bubble where the eyes should be. And it was beautifully easy to demould. So Intoresin will often say for you to, you know, loosen the sides. You shouldn't be touching the inside of these moulds without gloves on, because you are going to damage the inside. So did you see what I just did? I just pushed from the top and it came out. My hands didn't go inside that mould at all. But look at him. Look at this little froggy. He is the most sweetest, most gorgeous little froggy I have ever seen. Oh my goodness. Doo-dee-doo-dee-doo. He needs eyes. I'm going to give this one eyes today, I think. And yeah. Boop. He has one of those noses. Boop. I'm going to use the Simp Tap. I call him the wrong name. Simp Tap. Arrtx acrylic markers for this. And it's quite easy because you can see where the eyes are. The indent is there, so you can just carefully go around that area. And it's not to worry, I say it each time. If you go over a little bit too much, you can always use some isopropyl alcohol to remove any ink that you don't want in a certain place. All you need to do is go slowly and take your time. They're gorgeous shaped eyes, I just gotta say that. And I love the way he's like got his hands tucked over each other on the front. He is so sweet. He's like a gentleman frog. So I'm going to let that dry a little bit, and then I'll add a bit of a sparkle. Oh, the sparkle. The sparkle on this guy. I do need to do a little bit of deburring. And as I said with the foot, I did manage not to get the one foot completely full, and that is my bad, but it's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine, and it's not like they're mine. Right then, I'm going to pop on a crown. Of course, it's a frog, you know by now, unless it's like a different type of thing going on. They get crowns. Yes, they do. And these are lovely crowns as well. And just a moment to figure out where it can go. And I realised that it looks silly. This frog's shape is very different to any of the other moulds that I have. So I've had to lean him over a little bit, and it's basically going like on the back of his head because he's quite upright, so it looks better like this. And because this mould is transparent, you can also get that torch to go around the other side. And it's such a hot sunny day in South Wales today. Once I'm done and I do some pictures outside, he sits outside for about an hour or so anyway, just to make sure, just to save on using my lamp really, because as you know I like to put them under the lamp for a good 5 minutes or so, but you got to sit outside on the garden table for a little while. And there he goes. He's got a little white bit of, he's so beautiful, little white sparkle. Excuse any doggy noises. My dogs have my one dog, Harry, has decided to be noisy. And I'm going to be giving them, oh my goodness. I'm going to be making sure to give a UV coat on the eyes as well. And while I'm at it, because I'm concerned, ignore me, I know it's weird, but I don't want the turtle to be jealous of the frog. I know. It's the way my brain works. It's my ADHD part of it needs to be fair, basically. So the turtle gets to have a crown too, and I think it suits him anyway. He's a handsome turtle. You know, he could have done with like a top hat, but my top hats are way too big for this guy. I should really make some. If I ever, I don't like to do the tiny intricate things. People who can do that, hats off. I'm not good with paper. Maybe I should get somebody to make it for me. Who knows? But look at that. Doo-dee-doo. He is so beautiful. Absolutely stunning. And another reason I wanted these to be transparent is because they look beautiful on the little lights. I mean, yes, you can't see it properly, but I promise I'll show you at the end. I'll take us to a darker spot because it is so sunny. But look at them. They are so gorgeous. That green, that pear green is beautiful. I'm really pleased with that. It's the first time I've tried out using octopus ink. I got a few just to try out, so, but they are gorgeous. And look at him. I really must. I keep forgetting to order another one, and I could have ordered one when I ordered the frog, and for some reason it just boops, it keeps going out of my head. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to use the J Diction again, and I'll be pouring it on the froggy's eyes because, as you know, I like them to look complete and finished. Even that looks really cute. I should see if I can find little lights and stuff like that. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching. I hope you're inspired, and please check out Intoresin's website. Their moulds, oh, mwah, beautiful. They're handmade and amazing. Love you and stay weird.
The nerd goblin whispers in my ear. She molds her dreams with resin and clay. Whimsical wonders brighten the day. Stay wonderfully weird, let your colors unfold. Frogs and dragons, stories untold. Crocodiles dance in a resin sea. Stay weird, stay wild, stay beautifully free. She paints the night with the dragon's flame. In her hands the world's never the same. Frogs in hats and crocodiles grin, each creation a spark where dreams begin. Stay wonderfully weird, let your colors unfold. Frogs and dragons, stories untold. Crocodiles dance in a resin sea. Stay weird, stay wild, stay beautifully free. Through her hands the magic flows, a world where every odd thing grows. From clay and paint to dreams that shine. Stay weird and let your soul align. Stay wonderfully weird, let your colors unfold. Frogs and dragons, stories untold. Crocodiles dance in a resin sea. Stay weird, stay